Alright, hello BFC. I'm Wicked. I'm here with Curl Day. And we're here with another match between R and LSJ. Just as a disclaimer, I am on R, so I will do my best to make the commentary not biased, but a lot of the work will be done, a lot of the commentary work will be done by Curl Day here, and I'll just throw in some input on how to make both teams better. So it shouldn't be that bad, but apologies if it is biased. I would not mean it to be. So anyway, first map, in an interesting turn of events, we have Twilight on Hoth, map 1.
Yeah, and we saw LSJ play Sulphur Fields against Whatever's Clever just about 20 minutes ago. That's a map that you also don't see, but Twilight on Hoth, this map is probably banned 99% of the time. And the fact that this made it to map 1 with R going against LSJ is
yeah.
it's a sudden turn of events when it comes to map
yeah. Twilight on Hoth has been played once already in this tournament, but when Twilight on Hoth was left up, we didn't hesitate as a team to pick it. So map 1, Twilight on Hoth. First pod drops in the most troll location possible. Actually, one of 2 troll locations. But because I'm biased, I'm going to get on R to start, even though LSJ gets first touch.
So R, their lineup is looking like Kriseska, Capicula, Logic Scope, and Zycod, and LSJ has Darth Baptos, Fever Kid, and Ace Rolla, and Mike Fullerton. LSJ is going to be playing on Rebel side, and R is going to be on Imperial side, and it looks like LSJ is going to have the claim right now, as we do have Chris coming in from the back from LSJ's original spawn, trying to see if he can pick off a couple of members before he pushes in. Cappy's going to get a kill on Fever. Chris is going to back off. Max like he's going for the pie. He's going to go try to help his teammate push in. Mike's going to take out Logic, and Ace Roll is going to take out Cappy. And this pod is coming close to halfway claim for LSJ. I believe this might be the 50-second timer, and we're going to have Capicula going for the claim as no LSJ members are there to defend that pod, so he's going to get that free touch.
Yeah, and Fever had wasted a little bit of time there making sure he got a kill on Zycod, but Cappy's partner spawn just let Zycod get right back on pod there. So good partner spawning out of R to be able to get all 4 members there.
Yep, we have Mike pushing in, but he's going to get taken out from Cappy, and we have R set up good amount of positions around the entrances, but Cappy's Cappy's going to be watching the top entrance. Little skylight hole in there, and LSJ is going to be pushing in mainly through the middle of the cave. Chris is going to do a push on Mike, and he's going to get that kill, and he's going to be looking for another double here. He's going to be able, Logic's going to take out Fever with the nade. Chris not just getting that kill. Cappy's going to take out Darth Baptos. Chris trying to get at least 1 kill here on Ace Rolla, and he's going to be able to.
And something to note is, from experience, I know R actually has been practicing this match this map in inner scrims a lot. We do like to play it every so often just to be able to practice it. And I know LSJ, from experience, personally hates this map, and with a couple people who have not been playing that much, I don't think some of these players are that familiar with the map. But again, it's just not a map you see in competitive play all that much, so that might give that makes it really hard for both sides to know, what they're doing.
Yep, R's going to have the first touch on this. They have this 50-second timer, but this thing's already past halfway claim. Looks like Chris is going to take down Ace Rolla, stopping the push in from that back entrance. R might be able to get the second pod claim here. Mike's going to push into the skylight, but it's going to get shot from behind from Zycod in the middle of the cave. And looks like 3 LSJ members pushing onto the pod, but they're going to quickly get killed as Logic gets a nice triple. Chris picking up the 4th. That's going to give R the second pod claimed. And this pod is going to be the first pod to come down on the clear outside. And it looks like Mike's going to get that first touch for LSJ.
Yeah, LSJ has first touch again. Something else to note is a lot of pistols are coming out from LSJ, and this is a longer range map for the most part. I mean, there's some indoors that are small, but there's lots of points where long range comes in handy, and I'm concerned as to how the pistols are going to fare against longer range guns.
Yep, LSJ pushing out the pod's going to give Chris the ability to get that claim. He's going to go ahead and push Ace Rolla. Clearing him out, LSJ having to regroup. Looks like Mike's going to push from up top, but he does have a couple of his team members underneath inside the caves.
Yeah.
looks like Zykod's going to be off towards the edge of the map, taking out Fever, stopping that outside push, and I don't think LSJ's going to be able to get here in time, so they're all stuck in the cave.
Yeah, it's a couple members up top, but it's just not enough time. Again, a little too slow. Maybe here, last second?
Fever
Proxy.
trying to get the claims, not going to be able to get it. Proxy Bomb taking him out, and third pod's going to go over to R. They're going to be also be able to get the power-ups. And this pod is going to come down right next to the last one. R is going to be able to get his first touch, but two LSJ members, Mike and Darth Vatos and Acerola, actually, the ones out there. And they're going to be able to pick up two R members.
Yeah.
R does have the claim on this. LSJ looking for a push. Chris is going to take out Mike, and looks like they're still in this. Acerola rolling onto the pod. Not going to go for the claim.
Oh my god, that nade. That was
getting a trade with Fever.
Yeah, that nade rolled perfectly into the lap of Fever Kid there. I don't know how that angle happened, but it was really good. Something to note, though, R had messed up a little bit on spawns. Looks like Fever might just get a touch here for free, where a couple partner spawns could have happened, but our members had went a little too aggressive and didn't quite get the spawns they needed. So good play there from LSJ to be able to get the touch back and now force a 30-second touch.
LSJ's in control of this pod. Looks like R's going to be pushing around. Fever Kid just standing there watching his angle. He's going to get killed from Zykod from behind. And looks like Logic's going to go in there for the claim as LSJ just wasn't there to spot him as they got cleared out. And Darth Vatos trying to make a push underneath with Acerola, but it looks like Chris is going to be there to stop Acerola. 1v1 situation with Vatos. It looks like
2v1.
Logic's going to be able to save him. Yeah, Logic again from behind. Good call there from Chris that both of them were coming. 1v2 fight coming up on top, including Cappy.
Oh,
and
these nades are insane.
With a nice nade. Fourth pod going over to R as LSJ just wasn't able to get in there fast enough.
Alright. There's actually, believe it or not, there's about 3 or 4 entrances onto this pod. There's an entrance, I'll show it on stream here. There's one here. There's obviously the back one, there's one right there, and then there's this entrance over here. So there's a lot of ways that players have to account for to be able to make sure this pod gets covered. It's not as easy as you might think, and if teams, especially unexperienced teams, on a map that's not played that much, you know, someone might be able to sneak in here and force a touch.
Yep. So LSJ currently not in control of the pod. They do have a couple, like you were saying, that they have multiple entrances that they can try to get in. Are in control of it right now, and LSJ trying to push into the caves a little bit. Chris is going to take down Acerola after he is going to take out Zykod. Fever Kid coming from behind, trying to take out Logic. Not exactly going to be able to get the shots off. In a 1v2 situation, he's going to take down Chris.
The pod got taken. I believe Mike on the backside on the pod got taken down. That was huge. Fever had distracted too, but the rest of R was able to clean. I believe it was Mike off the pod there and be able to get that secure. So LSJ almost had a retouch there, but just good awareness and good pod focus was able to keep that secure.
I think the communication was coming out pretty well. One instance was Chris was able to call out a 2-man push from the side, and Logic was able to help him stop that. And R winning 5-0 on the first map.
And since this is the last map in the quote-unquote rotation, there's definitely going to be a server remake here. So that will happen. And map 2 is Dune Sea Exchange to completely change how the map selection's been going.
Going from the snow to the desert.
Going from one map that's always or never played to a map that's always played, from a big map to a small map. Well, we'll see how it goes. Whew. Alright, so I think LSJ is going to be hosting the second one, though it's really up in the air who hosts it. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, so is there anything you noticed LSJ was doing that they might want to work on towards map 2 and map 3 if they're able to force it?
Well, LSJ, they seem to have good teamwork. And it was definitely shown in the Whatever's Clever game as well, even though that they did sadly lose that.
Hmm.
They're working together good as a team. They do have the communication. Mike is doing great objectively. He is getting some of the clutch claims that they need. I think overall, R is just beating them a little bit in the gunfight area with 1v1s, 2v2s, just the small fights that are going on.
Hmm.
I think that's just what's really keeping LSJ off of the pod. Uh, a map like Twilight on Hoth, partner spawns are pretty much kind of a questionable act because you don't really know when to back off and get it because there's a bunch of entrances um, that is able to get in there, so you don't know if you're safe or not. And having to get those callouts if your partner needs to spawn, you want to know where do you want your partner to spawn to help you. It's the map all around. It can go from being really close quarters to really long range all of a sudden. And
Hmm.
when you have R, especially we saw from Chris, he was getting some of the flanks on them and pushing them really hard. So partner spawns on that were a little weird for both teams. I think LSJ, they just need to work on winning the gunfights and securing or clearing the enemy team off the
Hmm.
pod. If they can do that, they'll be fine. Everything else from them is working pretty well.
Yeah, and they promoted me as if I had everyone from R on this account. I don't. So if they promote Cappy or Chris or Zycod, Logic can get in here. Or I can add them. I'll do that. I don't know why they couldn't just promote one of them, but oh my god, no. Oop, wrong account. Oh man. Is Logic in the party? Or the game?
No.
Oh man. Alright. No. We'll see how long this takes.
He's in now.
Okay.
It's starting.
Alright. So map 2. We're loading into Dune Sea Exchange, as I had mentioned a little bit prior. So again, kind of a smaller map, but this was a map that LSJ has not been doing so well on as of late. We'll see how. Let's see if they can adapt to it. Maybe Twilight on Hoth had thrown them off their game a bit. But we'll see. Let's see if they can come back here and maybe force a map 3.
Yep, and a couple of the RT members do individually like this map as well. We're going to see if they can use their teamwork together on this. And see, partner spawns are going to be important on this. It's just going to be a little hard for both teams to get in the cover to allow that to happen. We're going to see a lot of quick kills coming out, considering it is a close range map, and I think both teams are going to be looking for top ship control. And it's going to be pretty interesting also with Mike, see if he can get in there quick enough to get some of the clutch caps if needed.
Yeah, and Mike again got a really close spawn, so I fully predict Mike to be on the pod. But with these nades that have been thrown from R so far, I wouldn't be surprised to see Mike maybe get killed off before he can get a claim. Not the biggest deal in the world, especially being the first touch on the first pod, but it might be something to note. See if maybe see who gets advantage early is something to note.
It looks like immediately Mike and two of his team members are going to jump up towards the ship, and no one really going for the pod.
Yeah, that's an interesting approach.
Yeah, we have 3 R members pushing out towards the right side, and we see Cappy doing a huge flank all the way around. And LSJ immediately going for top ship control. No one has touched the pod yet. We do see a Doxus go down, and it looks like Darfaptus is going to jump down, but he's immediately going to go to cover as he's at 1 HP, and Logic's going to go ahead and get that first claim. Chris taking out Darfaptus.
Spawn's just like flipped. That was very interesting.
Yeah, we don't really see that happen too much. You were saying about the nades earlier. I think R is doing a great job utilizing the star cards that they're using. They're definitely getting the kills that they need with it and using it like they should be.
Yeah, Acer picked up a nice kill.
On the ship. Yep, Chris on top of the ship getting a partner spawn for Logic, holding that control down. This pod is claimed by R, and it's about 75% claim. Looks like LSJ is going to be looking for a push from under the ship. Fever Kid, the closest one to it, but Mike's going to go towards it. Chris is going to be able to take him out from behind.
Yeah, Chris gets a double.
Yeah, Chris is going to get a double. We saw the bowcaster come out Cappy. Thought he was going to get that, but Chris was just too quick on the trigger to get that.
Yeah, it's not over yet, though.
Going to be the last LSJ member. Yeah, Darfapto's making the last push for that pod. He's not going to be able to get it. And looks like LSJ is actually going to clear out R from the pod, so they're going to be able to get those power-ups. R is up 1-0 now.
Yeah, that was
this next pod is going to go on the other side.
Really interesting strategy from LSJ there to just, like, gain control of the top ship and not touch the pod. Like, I mean, in my experience, top ship hasn't been the most huge influential thing like the crawler is on Jawa Refuge, so I'm confused as to their tactic there. I also haven't seen that before. It was really interesting.
It looks like R is going to be in control of this. I believe this is going to be a 50-second touch, as this is the first touch.
Yeah, Orbital on.
Looking for a couple pushes underneath. Orbital coming from LSJ.
Yeah. And Acer
going to be able to get the kill.
Acer did focus pod there, but there was enough support from R to be able to make sure that Acer had not grabbed it. Logic with a double kill, but just not enough pod focus or control from all sides.
Yep, Fever was able to push in there and get the touch. It looks like Cappy's going to get a double to clear out LSJ from the pod, and Losh is going to be the one to go in there and get the touch for his team. We see Darth Baptos from LSJ on top of tarps trying to spot out some R members. He's going to get spotted out first from Cappy. Just open to him from underneath. Chris low on health. He's going to be able to regen that though.
Yeah, Fever's really been favoring the shotgun on this, actually on a couple maps, and he's going to be able to get the claim.
Fever's going for the claim.
He got that. Deoxys on as well. Yeah, Fever's been doing a good job getting touches so far. I mean, the whole team, LSJ's really been prioritizing pod here, which is good to see, that especially that they're able to keep up and be able to get those touches. Being able to force resets, maybe even get the pod here. It is well, they do have a lot of control, only 15 seconds left.
Yep, LSJ was able to clear out R from that pod, and we saw Fever so far throughout this match. On both pod 1 and this pod, he's been able to get some clutch claims. Looks like he's taking over Mike's spot. This pod is almost claimed. Cappy goes in for it, but Acer is going to be able to take him out. He's going to get a double kill.
Logic gets the huge touch.
Logic able to run around Fever. He's going to get that claim, resetting at Fever, taking it right back. This is going to give R another opportunity to get in there and clear out LSJ. Looks like they're going to be pushing from over the ship. Some of them going in from around as well. It's going to be a split
Cappy bowcaster. Not going to connect.
Taking out Darth Faptos. Faptos is going to get that partner spawn. This pod's almost claimed. It looks like Logic's going to go in for it. Fever's going to take him out. Cappy's still there near the boxes. He's going to be the closest one to it. He's going to
go down.
Mike's going to be able to take him out.
And Logic's by himself. Chris maybe. No. They'll all get cleared. LSJ, great defense.
Yeah, we saw R push in as a team a little bit off on the timing. We saw, I think, Logic going first with 2 of his teammates pushing in about a second late. And LSJ was just quick on the trigger and they were able to clear him off. Mike going for the first touch on this. He's going to get it. That's going to start the 50-second timer. And it looks like Logic's going to come in from behind, take him out. Fever Kid's going to take out Logic though from that partner spawn. And Chris is going to take him out.
With a Deoxys, yeah. I would like to point out, Chris is also now swapped over to the shotgun. It's a gun he enjoys using on this map for whatever reason. But seeing Fever use it convinced him to pull it out. So now both sides pulling out a shotgun. Especially for this pod, it's a really good, it is a weapon that you can use effectively.
LSJ split up a little bit, but there's no R members to watch that pod, so Mike could definitely push up on here, but he decides to go for Cappy. Cappy's going to jump right over him.
And the rest of the R right there.
And we saw R push off a little bit. That was an opportunity for LSJ to push in, but they weren't able to capitalize on
Yep.
that. Looks like they're going to make a 3-man push over construction.
Yep.
Mike's going to go in. He's going to get killed from Cappy. Fever Kid, last one on there. Logic's going to take him out. That pod's going to go over to R.
Good return kill or return take there from R to not let that one pod get to him and just get right back on their game with good defense.
Yep. This will be the 4th pod coming down. It's going to be underneath tarps. So height advantage on this may or may not come into play as tarps is right over it, not really visible to the pod itself. Mike pushing in, killing Cappy. He's going to go for the pod claim, but Logic's going to take him out.
Logic has done a great job of staying alive so far. I say that as he goes down, but he put a lot of pressure off and is going to allow Faptos to be able to sneak in.
Pod. He's going to get that claim. Looks like they're clearing off R, but I believe that's Cappy underneath the construction. He's going to be able to hold out, possibly get a partner spawn. And LSJ still in control of this pod, trying to hold off. Chris is going to get the entry kill on Fever, but LSJ's having their teammates coming for reinforcements.
Yeah.
And Darth Faptos is going to be able to take out Logic. Chris taking out Acerola. That's going to be another possible entry. We do have Zykod and I believe Cappy out towards the boxes.
Partner spawns are happening. This might come down to a one-on-one.
Push on the pod.
Cappy gets a clutch touch. Huge touch there from Cappy.
1 HP. LSJ just
Chris picks up a double. Actually keeps the touch alive.
And Chris being able to secure that area for his team, doing a great job with that. I don't know if he's using the shotgun still, but good play coming out of him. Fever Kid taking out Chris with the grenade, and it looks like Zykod's going to go up to the pod itself, making sure it's not going to get claimed.
Yeah, Mike and LSJ are looking for a flank. The Logic knows they're there, and that's definitely going to be called out by them.
Zykod looking the wrong way. Mike's going to go from the side, but Cappy Kill's going to be there.
Yeah.
Watch his right flank. He's going to get the kill on him. Keeping Mike away from the pod. It's going to be a 3-1 lead now.
Yeah, that was a huge clutch take earlier from Cappy to be able to keep that alive, and the defense coming out there was enough to keep that going for him. It's a good play there from R. LSJ is just a fraction of a second, though, from making this game tied, actually, or even just taking the lead.
That this pod's going to come down towards LSJ's original spawn. Fever Kid's going to get that first touch. He gets in 1v1 situation with Cappy. Cappy's going to take him out. Cappy's going to go in for the reset on the touch. Making a 30-second claim now. 2v2 situation going down towards the first pod, but looks like R is going to be able to win that. And Acerola actually picking up Logic. He knows that another R member, who will be Chris, is going to be on the other side, but Chris is going to get that partner spawn from Logic, and Chris is going to jump shot him with a shotgun. This pod right now is in control from R. Couple touches were being reset there from both teams. R finally being able to secure the area. We see LSJ trying to make a push from under the ship, but we do see Fever Kid coming from the side. Going to get a partner spawn from Mike.
There's a flank, but Chris knows they're there.
Yep, Chris doing a great job watching his flanks. Going to be able to take him out. Orbital coming in from LSJ is going to.
R does have a Deoxys. Chris will know. There is a Deoxys on. Is that going to be enough? No.
Yeah, 3 LSJ members pushing in. Fever Kid's going to get that claim as Chris is just on the wrong side to defend that pod, and launching scope again, a good double. I believe with a grenade. Fever Kid's going to send the message right back and get the kill on him. Zykod and Cappy taking out the rest of LSJ members. This pod is going to get reset towards R as LSJ starts to make their next push. We see a stalemate going here between Zykod and Acerola, and Acerola's just going to jump over. Zykod's going to see that because of the third-person view. R still in control of this. LSJ on the other side of the map. Looks like we actually have Fever Kid on top of the ship, just waiting for his moment to strike.
Looks like Faptos coming in through the center. He has a little bit of an angle, but he can't get on the pod. He's going to have to rely on his team to get a touch here. Fever low.
1 HP. He's going to go for the claim, and he's not going to get it as Chris comes in from under the ship. He's going to take him out.
Yeah, if Fever had any more HP, he definitely would have gotten that touch. But the fact that he got down to 1 HP from something earlier in the match was really costly. But LSJ going to get these power-ups.
Yep, and looks like Cappy's there for the first touch, so on the 52nd touch in this pod. R is up 4-1. They only need one more pod to close this out. 2-0 for the whole match. LSJ having the comeback on this same situation that they're in on the whatever's clever game. They just weren't able to pull it all the way through. They just need one more pod to make it a tie.
Oh, smart rocket coming in off to the side. It's going to take down one, but there's still a couple more. This is one of the hardest parts to get. This
Mike in the back lurking, and he's coming up from behind.
He picks up one.
Looking like he's gonna go for the pod, not taking out Cappy. He's gonna run around.
Cappy
He's
gets
not gonna be
a
able to get the
clutch
claim.
shot there. Mike almost had it. If he kept moving, if he actually didn't crouch there and was able to keep moving, 100% would have had it. Now, this is a situation LSJ was just in a couple minutes ago, but this time they're going to get cleared out. Maybe Mike, last chance, he's going to go down.
Yep, and this 5th pod's gonna go over to R. R closing it out early, winning map 1 5-0, and this map 5-1. The whole match is gonna go over to R, a 2-0 win against LSJ.
And I don't know. How do you feel about the game?
Well, I didn't really see any mistakes come up from both teams. I mean, LSJ did their hardest. I didn't see any big things that they were screwing up on. I think overall it would just be the gunfights, like I was saying. They need a win, especially the ones that might be away from the pod, because R seems like they like to push out from the pod, get some early stops, and that's what LSJ just wasn't able to capitalize on. So I think R just came out as the bigger man on this one.
Yeah. So thanks everyone for watching. There will be a match coming up in just a couple of minutes between R and whatever's clever, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully I'll pass that over to Mike and Curl Day, so you don't have to hear my biased personality. But thanks everyone for watching. Just make sure to stay tuned in, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Good games to both teams.